some old bread I'm thinking about making some bread pudding with. That's pretty much it, unless I whip up this bread pudding right quick. I could do that. You want me to make a bread pudding?
Well, sure.
You do?
Kidding?
If I do the bread pudding right quick, then what we're going to do is, I don't have Granny's recipe in front of me, and I don't have it wrote down anywhere. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I got it in my handy dandy old home cookbook. This is my cookbook organizer that I used before I started this show. You'll see Granny's bread pudding right there. And so that's what we'll make right quick. So let's get over here and get it started. Well, she's got a teacup of sugar, which is a cup. And you got 3 eggs. And I like to use more eggs, okay? Because I like for it to be more like a custard. I want to use 4 eggs. We're going to use a half a stick of butter, 2 cups of milk. So I'm going to melt some butter in the microwave. Just happen to have some handy dandy butter right here. And it's room temperature. I think I might just mix it up. I'll just melt it.
I think we can turn them beans off.
Okay, we'll turn off the beans.
It's been 15 minutes.
Now, I'm going to show you something real quick about this. Most pressure cookers, you know, got the little thing that's on the top, and you can release some of the pressure if you move it. This one has this on the handle, so you can kind of pull back and start letting some of it out if you want to. Now, I don't want to. I want my beans to sit at pressure and come all the way down because that just helps them get softer, okay? And when your beans are finished, it's really smart after the pressure's off to look at them and make sure they're completely covered with water before you let them soak for an hour. Otherwise, half of your beans will turn soft and half of them will still be hard, and that is no fun. Okay, so let's make a quick bread pudding with this bread I got left over. I thought that Granny used a whole stick of butter in her bread pudding. Maybe she just puts it on the bread or something. I don't know.
There ain't no law against using a whole stick.
I know. According to how much pudding you're making, right? She's got 5 biscuits. And Granny had little biscuits. I'll use 5 pieces of this loaf bread. This is butter bread. Real old-fashioned butter bread. I bought it for Mom, and of course she never ate it. So we're about to make something out of it. I'm going to chop it up. And I'm using a bread knife. That's why it's cutting so easy.
We're going to cook it in the oven.
Yes.
You turn it on.
Well, you can't.
Or we're going to let it soak for a while.
We're going to let it soak before we make it. Bread pudding's always better if you let it soak. At least let it soak 20 minutes. You can let it soak up to an hour. And if you do that, then when you cut into it, it's going to be more like an egg custard pie, where it's going to stand firm and look real good. I mean, so you want to do that. Trust me, you just do. Now, I don't want to cook my eggs with my hot butter. So what I'll do is add my milk, then add my butter. Let's put in some vanilla. Can they see good? Let me grab some vanilla. Do you want anything in it?
Last time we used cinnamon and nutmeg, didn't we? Sugar. Did you use brown sugar or regular sugar last time? We used brown sugar.
I used both.
Yeah.
Half and half.
Oh, yeah.
Let me grab the sugar. eggs, some vanilla. This is cheaper vanilla, so I use more. We're going to use, now this is not just real sweet because we put in 1 cup. This is a 1/2 cup. So we're going to use a 1/2 cup of brown sugar and a 1/2 cup of white sugar, granulated, of course. We're going to mix this up. We're going to pour in the butter. About like making a pie. We're going to put in some nutmeg, which is my fave, and y'all don't have to eat it if you don't want to. My granny would have, or my mama would have never put nutmeg in nothing. But boy, do I love it. Love it. All right, we're going to get some milk out. This is skim milk. That's what we drink. Now, what else was I going to get?
Cinnamon.
Do I have? Oh, here it is. I was thinking I don't have a whole lot of cinnamon because I ate all that cinnamon sugar for. We had cinnamon toast this morning for breakfast. What did I do with my measuring cup? It's over here. So we're going to put in 2 cups of milk. One, 2, a little bit of cinnamon. And of course, this is to your taste. So any spice like this should be how you like it. And I'm only going to use like, this is a 1/4 teaspoon. That's really all I want in here. So I got about a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg and about a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon in here. So I don't use a whole lot. I want to taste the eggs. I want to taste the bread. I don't want to just taste the spice, okay? So what we're going to do now is we're going to put it in a baking dish. We're going to spray our baking dish, and we're going to bake it. Granny said butter the dish with butter, so I'm going to use this butter. We're going to butter our dish. Butter it. Be generous with your butter. So the rest of the stick of butter we could just put on the dish. And then just hope you get a piece that's close to the edge. Right? No, I'll use some of the rest of it. Maybe you pour it over the top or something. Because I can't get all this butter in there. Okay. Put these in here. Now my butter is salted. Anytime you make something sweet, it should have a little salt in it. But since I'm using salted butter, there's my salt. Okay? If you use a plain butter, put a little salt in, at least a 1/2 teaspoon or something, in your juicy juice. So we're going to pour this over our bread. I personally think that could use a little bit more bread. I don't know. See, it looks like it. Press it down. It's a little bit.
Throw another
I'm gonna put one more loaf in it.
slice in.
I'm just gonna throw this out to the birds. So I'm gonna reach in here with these dirty hands. Just don't freak out because we're not gonna eat the rest of it. The birds can.
One person said that it seems like every time they make theirs, it's kind of slimy.
Slimy?
Yeah. What are they doing wrong? I mean, bread pudding is a little bit.
It shouldn't be watery. Like somebody told me theirs was watery on the bottom.
Yeah, it shouldn't be watery.
It should not be watery. There should be enough eggs in it that it sets up like a custard. So if you're using a small egg, use use a couple of more eggs, or I don't really know why it would be slimy, but now it should set up, and maybe you didn't let it set and soak, you know. So let it soak, because this bread is going to soak up almost every bit of this moisture before I even get it in the oven, okay? So add bread until, you know, you want it to be a little bit watery, but you can kind of tell by looking at that now, it looks like it's firming up a little bit. And I think that I've added enough bread now that it's going to be a nice bread pudding. And so when you're using biscuits like Granny did, I mean, it's according to how big you make your biscuits. You know, my Granny made biscuits about that big. But if you make biscuits that big, you know, just use your judgment when you pour the liquid over the top. You want it to soak into the bread. And you can tell now it's not so watery anymore. I mean, it jiggles, but it's not just soupy, okay? So just do that. We're going to melt the rest of this, pour over the top. And we're going to let this sit at least 20 minutes. I've got a mess here. I got to clean up. We're going to let this sit 20 minutes. And then we'll get it in the oven.
And croissants are pretty, and I know that's the traditional, like New Orleans, they all use croissants for their bread pudding. They're famous for their bread pudding.
Well, croissants are amazing just by themselves.
Yeah.
Full of butter. Croissants are so fattening and so flaky and so delicious. So I would imagine they would make an outstanding bread pudding. But we're just using our old bread. You can use anything. Biscuits, croissants, hot dog buns, anything. Instead of throwing it out, you can make something sweet out of it. Okay? There's our bread pudding. We'll get it in the oven and we'll bake it 40 minutes. 40 minutes at 350 degrees. Thanks for watching Color Valley Cooks. And buy those cookbooks. Get them on sale by going to our website, www.colorvalleycooks.com. Love ya. Y'all have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching Color Valley Cooks. Love y'all.